as ravens when other people try and use it.
Yes. And either or times on the Ravens set, did you keep any of the clothes, the staff, anything?
Well, no, because it's been under lock and key with the BBC for years and years and years. I mean, I had over the years, I've had various kind of golden rings. I've taken those
Oh,
home.
really?
The odd skull or feather or whatever from a standard. But in terms of the actual costume and the staff of power, no, I never did. That was always taken away and put under lock and key. I did have before Raven was recommissioned with Series 10 and 11 in 2017. I was working on a TV show, a soap up here in Scotland called River City.
Okay.
It's our kind of BBC soap opera up here, and where the studios are for River City, the BBC also have a big storage unit where they keep loads of costumes and props and sets from shows all over the shop.
Yeah.
And I'd heard a vicious rumor that my Raven costume and stuff was being stored in there. So when I was filming River City, because I was there for a while, I went on the hunt in one of my lunch breaks because I was like, right, this was what, this must have been 2000 and, well, it was the year my son was born, so 2015, 2016, something like that. And I was like, God, it's been like 5-6 years since we've done Raven. It can't be coming back. Do you know what? I'm having that staff of power. That's going on my mantelpiece. That's it. That's what's happening. So I went looking for it, and it turns out it's been nicked. Someone nicked it years ago.
Really?
Someone somewhere has got it in their house. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're not talking about. It's not like the same thing as like, James Bond's Aston Martin DB5, which was nicked in 1997 and is still missing, and they can't find it. It's not quite on the same scale, my staff power being lost, but it has the same kind of special meaning to me,
Yeah, it's iconic to you. It's iconic to us.
Yeah, it's iconic to me. So yeah. I never got it, and that is why in series 10 and 11, New Raven has a different staff.
Oh, because they had to design a new one because it was wrong.
Yeah, because they had to design a new one because the old one was nicked and is in someone's house somewhere.
Oh my God.
So yeah.
So did you nab that one? New one?
No. I think Aisha might have tried to nab that, or they've still got it under lock and key for her. I'm not sure actually. I mean, I'm not going to go asking about Aisha's costume because that ain't never going to fit me. But yeah, my staff of power, who was affectionately known as Jake, he is missing. But I won't say presumed dead, just missing in action, MIA.
It's probably been used for firewood, probably.
Oh no, don't say that. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Do you know what? Navar's using it as kindling. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what it is.
So, do you have any other interests outside of acting?
What you mean, like kind of hobbies and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, hobbies or anything else you like to pursue?
Well, I mean, being a dad, that takes up a lot of my time, and being quite fortunate in the respect of being a self-employed actor, you're either working loads or you're not working loads.
Yes.
And so I get to have lots of family time, which is brilliant, and I get to spend a lot of time with my kids, more than a lot of dads, I would say. So that takes up a lot of time and space for hobbies.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy a bit of cycling, road cycling, and running. But other than that, it's children and the gardening, really. I do like a bit of walking. I've realized that the older I've gotten, and that I really enjoy spending time outdoors doing kind of physical things, and that was never me. Like at school for PE, I was last in cross country. I was never any good at football. I just wasn't athletic. I just wasn't like I wasn't into exercise at all. I was like,
Yeah.
why do I want to go and do that? It just makes me uncomfortable, sore and sweaty. I don't want to do any of that. Why would I want to do that?
Of course.
And it's only, I think it's only since I've gotten older, like yeah. I mean, like 2 years ago, I did a trek, a 5-day trek across the Sahara Desert
Oh,
for
really?
charity. Yeah, and that just kind of blew my mind, and I just loved it. And I did quite a bit of training for that in terms of kind of running and cycling and hill walking and stuff like that. And I just realized that I just love being outdoors
Yeah.
and kind of that. So yeah, I enjoy randomly my kind of 13, 14, 15-year-old self would be looking at myself going, who are you? What are you talking about? But yes, that. So those are, I suppose, I don't I don't think I've got an actual like hobby. Like I don't collect stamps, or I don't do like kind of,
You don't play
Dungeons and
football
Dragons
or
or
anything
anything
like
like
that?
that. No, I don't play football. No, like I say, I've always had two left feet. I'm absolutely appalling. I can't. I mean, I've got loads of friends who like play five-a-side two or three
Yeah.
times a week, and they just know not to ask me, because it would be terrible. It would be absolutely terrible. Yeah, I'm rubbish.
Fair enough.
I used to play golf. But yeah, my children put pay to that. So maybe when they're a bit older,
Play mini
I'll blow,
golf.
I'll blow the cobwebs off my clubs and go out.
Yes. So you obviously seem to do some crazy things for these charities, like obviously Sahara Desert, skydiving. So what is this charity?
Well, two separate ones really. The first charity that I did the Sahara Trek with is a charity called CHAS, which is Children's Hospices across Scotland, and they give care and support to terminally ill children and their families. So they got in touch a couple of years ago and asked me if I would be interested in helping to raise funds by getting sponsorship to do a trek across the Sahara. So I was, yeah, well, it was just a kind of, it was a no-brainer really.
Yeah, of course.
To help raise money for such a worthwhile cause, and to have the amazing opportunity to go to Morocco and trek and camp out in the Sahara Desert for 5
Yes.
days and nights. It was just like, yeah, I'm in. Where do I sign? So I did that in 2019. I managed to raise about £11,500. So I was
wow.
really, really pleased with that. And then 2.5 to 3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
I got a phone call from an actor friend of mine who's in that Scottish soap opera that I was mentioning, River City, and he'd been asked to do this skydive, and there was some spaces left, and so he phoned me and said, "Will you do it with me? Because I'm too scared." And I said, "Well, I'll be just as scared, but yeah, okay, I'll do it." And so this one is for a charity called Beatson Cancer Charity, and the name, it's obvious by the name. They provide care and support to people with cancer and their families. So yeah, so
that's amazing. What you've done, obviously. So
yeah, I'm still pooping my pants though. Like I'd happily go and trek across the Sahara for 6 months rather than jump out of a plane. Like I'd rather be, dehydrated and in 45-degree heat in the sand, with kind of, rationed food. I'd rather do that for 6 months than spend. I mean, it's going to. I mean, the skydive's going to be. It's going to. The whole thing's going to take less than 5 minutes. Do you know what I mean? But it's.
I know
you're
panicking for months and stuff, and then it's like, yeah. I'm sure you'll be fine.
But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Yeah. Gravity. Like once I'm through the door of that plane, gravity will do its job, and the parachute will open, and I'll have a lovely view, and that'll be that.
Exactly.
And then I'll change my pants, and we'll be fine.
So what work are you working at anything at the moment?
Nothing specific at the moment. No, I mean, I do quite a bit of audio work, voice work as well. Oh, nice. So, and we have a studio at home here. So my wife's an actor as well. So we're able to do voiceovers, and my wife does a lot of audio books and kind of voice work for cartoons and animations and things like that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we're able to work from home, which has been an absolute lifesaver during COVID,
Yes.
because obviously our industry has ground to a halt. Really, I mean, apart from a little bit of television, which is kind of starting to come back now, but theatre and a lot of film and television has it's been very well. I mean, there's been no theatre whatsoever, really.
Yeah, exactly.
And very, very few film and television. So audio work is the only kind of stuff that's out there, and we've been very lucky because pre-pandemic it was something we did anyway. We've managed to kind of keep it going, so which is
Awesome.
great.
I'm glad that you've kept busy during this crazy time.
Yeah, well, like I say, I mean, touch wood, we're very fortunate because we have friends who have had to give up the business and are even struggling to get in inverted commas normal jobs. So it's tough times for everybody out there. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No matter what industry or department you're in, exactly.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Yeah.
Just back to Raven. Obviously, you remember like the costumes that the young warriors used to wear. Did you have any favorite colors or symbols?
I always loved the sun, which was a kind of orangey red one with obviously the sun emblem on it, and the tree. Just because, reds and greens, they were always nice. And I think a lot of the time I liked the sun because we were filming in Scotland and we didn't always see it. And so it made me long for the sun. Yeah, I always loved it. I loved the costumes for the young warriors. They were just really cool. They had that kind of medieval element to them. They looked the part. They looked great, but the kids were still able to do all the physical stuff that they needed to do. But I know it wasn't their branded tracksuits or jeans or trainers, whatever, that they might have worn on the days off or whatever. But I know they felt pretty cool in those. I think they really enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, they're like the Raven Power Rangers sort of thing.
Well, exactly. Yeah, but it was really weird when you would meet the kids, offset. Like once or twice we would all try and get the kids and the crew and everybody together, and we'd maybe go for a big meal together or whatever, or at the very end of the series we would have a wrap party.
Yeah.
And then you'd suddenly see them out of their warrior costumes in their normal clothes with their normal hairdos, and you'd be like, who are you? I don't even recognize. You'd hardly recognize them. But yeah, it's cool.
Oh wow. I have one final question for you, and that is, what was your favorite moment from the series?
I've told this story many a time, and it's actually not from actual aired episode, but it was in preparation for a challenge called The Last Stand, which was the penultimate challenge, I think, before it was before Way of the Warrior. It was basically when you were whittling down the final 3 warriors down to 2, and then obviously that 2 would then be down to 1 to make the ultimate warrior. But the Last Stand was 3 of them, and the kids would start in these kind of cages, and they would have to run this kind of assault course, and Navar would be up on top of his tower shooting lightning bolts at them, and this was a big thing. This was the 3 down to 2, and the kids were dead nervous. And so we were about to start, and I was chatting to one of the young warriors, and he was dead nervous, and he was like, "James, I need to fart." I was like, right, okay. I'll tell you what we'll do. The cameras aren't rolling, right? So what we'll do is we'll cover it up. So after 3, I'll cough really loudly and you fart, right? Okay. He's like, right, okay, cool, man. He says, I don't want to be thinking about that while I'm having to do The Last Stand. I want to be focused. I was like, okay. Right, ready. Right. 1, 2, 3. And I made this big show of coughing, and he totally mistimed it. And so I finished coughing, then he went, and unbeknown to him and me at the time, the cameras and the sound were rolling. and we caught it. We got it on camera, and so at the end of the season, we had the wrap party, and that was shown in the kind of the blooper reel. And the boy was, to be fair, the young lad thought it was hilarious, and he took it in really good spirits. You know, because I mean, bearing in mind this kid was about 12. You know what I mean? So it was,
Yeah.
It could have been the most embarrassing moment of his life, but he took it in good stead. And actually, you know, I reminded him of it recently because he turned 30 this year. He turned 30, and one of his pals got in touch and said, "I don't know if you remember my mate. Let's just call him John Smith, because I'm not gonna give his real name." And he said, "I don't know if you remember my pal, but he was this warrior on this series of Raven. Just wondered if you might send him a little happy birthday video message." And so I did. I was in the middle of filming Molly and Mac, and I took a moment of set and filmed it on my phone and sent it. And you know, I did it in a kind of Raven type style. And then at the end, I just retold this story, and apparently he was showing this video in front of his friends and family and his girlfriend and all that kind of stuff. And apparently he knew as soon as I started talking, he knew what was coming. And he still remembers it, obviously, vividly to this day. So,
oh wow,
the fact that he just turned 30 did make me feel rather old. But yeah, he's also quite successful in his field. He works in sports. I'll make it as vague as that. But I mean, he's not a professional athlete, but he's a professional in the field of sport and in terms of helping and coaching and looking after athletes. And I think so. He's quite high up.
Oh wow.
But it doesn't matter. You know, he's still the warrior that farted because he was so nervous.
Oh, that's a great story.
I mean, but in terms of the actual show, any of my favourite moments would be whenever any of the kids completed the Way of the Warrior, because it was designed to be the toughest challenge.
Yeah.
On Raven. So whenever anyone completed it, it was, you know, I mean, hats off to them. That was a proper achievement.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I remember watching it and thinking, I'm never going to do that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, James, thank you very much for your time.
Not at all. You're very welcome. Thanks for having me, Adam. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, yeah. Pleasure's all mine. Hope you have, well, I say enjoy your evening. It's like 10 o'clock, so.
No problems. And listen, thanks for being so patient. I know we've had to put it off for a number of times and reasons, but it was either filming or then babies or just general kind of domestic carnage. But I appreciate it. So thanks, man.
Many thanks. Take care. Hope we catch you up down the line.
All right, man. Take it easy.
You too.
Cheers,
Bye.
pal. Bye-bye.